Besides its unique architecture, the MUB has a very different atmosphere than any other buildings here at UF. The MUB is bustling with energy and music. One would seldom hear silence in this building. Now, it isn't always classical music or opera melodies that float through the air here. It is very typical to hear the UF spirit songs like our football fight song, or sometimes you can hear pop songs like Lady Gaga or even Super Mario Brothers theme played on classical instruments.
My name is Danny Rose. I started playing the piano from a young age. My mom taught me until I was about 13. And I took a long break until about the summer, my freshman year, the summer, I started playing again, just recreationally. And then it was last spring that I started as a music major. I'm also a math major, so it keeps me tied up a lot.
You're actually a math major as well. How has playing the piano interacted with your math abilities?
I would say that often when I'm in my music theory classes, sometimes patterns and sequences of things like stick out at me. I'd be interested to try to work with trying to apply like sequences of numbers to compositions like scales and things and seeing how the overlap would sound.
So how does playing music change your perception of music? Are you hypercritical of certain genres, or are you more appreciative of other genres?
Taking music theory courses has really made me understand the complexity of some classical pieces, and that kind of has a negative effect because sometimes I look at the simplicity of some more popular songs as a negative trait, but some courses I've had tend to explain how it's not really about being as complex as possible. It's about having, the right musical motivation.
The flow.
Right.
Hi, my name is Rena, and I'm a double major in music and microbiology.
So tell me some of the misconceptions about being a music major. I've heard a lot of people say that it's a really easy major.
That's definitely one of the biggest. Because I'm both microbiology and music on a pre-med track, I've taken a lot of hard classes like organic chemistry or biochemistry, and I know for a fact that music theory and music history for me is a lot harder than those classes combined.
So I've heard you've had mystical powers in the realm of music, like perfect pitch and synesthesia. Can you explain what perfect pitch is?
Perfect pitch is basically recognition of the pitch. If I played this note on the keyboard, normal people wouldn't be able to tell you exactly what note it is. Usually, most music majors have very good relative pitch. When I give you this note in relationship to this note, you can tell me, what those notes are. But if I just give you a note out of nowhere, right, people would have problems.
I did not know that.
Synesthesia is the connection of two of your senses. For me, it's sight and the things I hear. I know for other people, they might connect words with, taste. So when I hear something on the piano, each individual note is a different color. It's cool.
And you said that major colors are warmer and minor are cooler. So when you go to a performance, do you actually see the performance as well?
I try not to, because it's very confusing. Yes.
Cool.
My name is Jordan Utzman. My major is English and my minor is music, and I've been playing the oboe since I was 11.
between a solo instrument like a violin or a piano versus an accompanied instrument like the oboe?
Well, I mean, it's a little different. I mean, because violin, I've seen, like with the violin and piano, I tend to see people starting it younger, sort of on their own, because it's not something you play with a large group of people usually. I mean, usually a lot of people do not start in orchestras, or a lot of people start in bands when it comes to those wind instruments. So I think it's different growing up, because it's sort of more of it's a stricter sort of path.
So what's the culture with the music kids? Like, what is it being a minor?
Well, I mean, it's completely different from being any other major or minor. Once you sort of enter the music school, you have to have an audition to get into the music school. So you already are sort of in this exclusive sort of group. I mean, a lot of us music minors and majors have been playing this the majority of our lives. And we've been playing music. We made this conscious decision to go into music. And a lot of the minors they're minors because they can't see themselves giving up music. So you sort of have this sort of subculture, because a lot of people also just kind of don't understand music. Unless you've had a music class, it's not likely you are going to hear about a lot of the musicians that we deal with on a regular basis.
Hi, I'm Amy Trelford, and I'm a sophomore, and I'm a music minor for piano.
I've heard that like music people usually only listen to classical music. Is that true?
No, not at all. Like, although I play classical music, I love listening to a lot of different genres. I'm kind of really into indie rock, alternative, and a little bit of screamo, which is kind of crazy.
So why don't you tell me about the music building? Are there any, pros and cons that you like about its structure, or?
Well, I mean, if anyone's been in the music building, you can tell the architecture is kind of, interesting. Personally, I hate the architecture, considering that because it's kind of an outdoor-indoor pavilion type thing going on. The problem is it has a lot of environmental factors of temperature changing, which is a pain in terms of the instruments. And it also kind of stinks for the students to have to, go in, and after raining, all the grounds are all wet and it's cold, and it's not really beneficial at all. I heard that the reason why it is the way it is because it was some architecture competition, but I don't know, it seems pretty ridiculous. But overall, the music building is kind of a really cool place because it's kind of where all the music people kind of hang out, so it's kind of like your little niche in the whole campus, which is kind of nice. Since the campus is so big, it's nice to have kind of like your homeroom area where you can all hang out.
Are you aware of the Mozart effect?
Yeah, I was told about it when I was really little, that I should listen to Mozart all the time, because somehow it's going to make me smarter or whatever.
Do you think that it has?
In general, when I study and do stuff like that, I don't really listen to classical music or any music at all, because I kind of find it distracting. But I mean, it's hard to say whether listening to classical music is somehow going to make you smarter or anything like that, because I mean, you'd have to do a comparative study between two different people to figure that out. It's hard to evaluate yourself and be like, yes, I'm smarter because of this, versus just being that way.
Before I go, would you mind teaching me, like, how to play something, anything?
I guess the easiest thing to learn would be like the C major scale. It's pretty much what everyone starts off with when they first learn. So the C major scale, you have all white keys, you have no sharps or flats.